Hello guys, welcome along to the channel. Nigel here with you, Nigel's Modelling Bench, and here we are now. It's the 22nd of March 2025 and it's a Saturday and it's grey and miserable after a nice sunny couple of days. Anyway, so here we are. Back in November 2024 I was walking around Scale Model World in Telford and I was handed a bag, and in that bag was this little lot here, except for one of them, and it was basically a little haul from Art Scale Kit, and I didn't get a chance to see Peter. I didn't even see his stand. I'm sure there's more I missed at Telford this year because I was so busy talking to people. But basically, I was handed this bag, and obviously Peter had given somebody the bag of bits and said, if you see Nigel, please give this to him, and they gave it to me. So thank you very much, Peter. He has since sent me another haul of stuff, and there was a big customs complications, so that was actually sent back to the Czech Republic because it was a bit silly. So what have we got here? We have a load of masks, we have a load of decals, and we have a kit, all from Art Scale Kit, their own products. These aren't, because Art Scale Kit are a massive distributor of all sorts of stuff in the Czech Republic, but they're also a manufacturer of 3D printed resin parts, masks, decals, and now kits as well. So we'll have a look at the kit in a minute. But first of all, we'll just go through these masks and everything. So, and then we'll look at the decals, and then we'll go from there. Right, so what have we got here in the way of masks? I've got a load of 72nd scale here. I've got a load of 48 scale here for various different kits. So we can see there, we've got there's all the 48th. Then we've got some 35th. We've got some 32nd as well, and there's some more 35th. Right, so going from the smallest up to the biggest. So in the 72nd scale, 72096. These numbers always have a prefix 200M, okay, but I'll just tell you 72096. The 72 tells you it's 72nd scale, so if it's 48th, it would be 48, blah, 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 yeah. So this is a one-sided mask set. So one-sided masks, I'll tell you once and once only, one-sided masks are just for the outside. Double-sided mean you can mask the inside as well. If you don't know what that means, go back and have a look at my Revell 132nd scale Hurricane build, and you'll see in there I use the double-sided masks. And what happens is you spray the inside with the interior colour, you spray the outside with the exterior colour, and when you actually remove the masks, you get this look of a frame being there rather than just looking through a clear wall, if you know what I mean. You have to see it to know what I mean. So we have Phantom FG1 FGR2 in 172nd scale from Airfix, one-sided. That's 72096. 72095 is the B24H Liberator in 172nd scale. This is one-sided. A lot of the 172nd scale stuff, especially stuff like this, will be one-sided only because trying to do double-sided would be ridiculous. I'm sorry guys, I have a stinking cold again and I have to keep stopping to cough, so you'll see lots of edited little bits in here. And then 72094, this is the Hurricane Mark II A, B and C from Armour Hobby, and again this is one-sided, and you can see on here that we have the different types of canopies here. So not exactly sure what the difference is in these two, but there's two different types. And what Peter always does, he always gives you the actual kit part number on here that it relates to when you look at the diagram. You can see on here we've got part numbers for the actual parts. I don't think we have, oh yes we do, on here you can see inside there. On here this is just a diagram of what the set contains, but you can see inside there in behind we have the instructions with the actual kit part number and where the actual mask locates and which one to use. These are, I don't just say this because he sends them to me, I say this because I mean it. They are, I think, the best masks on the planet. They are absolutely stunning. If you go and look at the set for the Border Model Lancaster, he does the Border Model Lancaster, just the nose and the full set. They are absolutely stunning. They're amazing. So worth a try. They're brilliant. Okay, so 48 scale. So we have M48275, and this is for the Junkers F13 Early, and this is a double-sided one in 148 scale. This is for the mini art kit, and you can see we have interior and exterior parts on there, and then behind there we'll have the instructions on where they will go. 48273 is the de Havilland Tiger Moth, double-sided for Airfix in 1/48 scale. Tiny little sheet, not much on there, but you can see again kit part numbers and mass on this. You got wheels and screen on there. 48272, we got the Macchi C200 Series 21 and 23 from Italeri. Again, a small little sheet, again part numbers, diagrams. 48270 B26C Invader in 1/48 from Revell. This is a one-sided. Now I'm guessing this is the ICM kit, I'm guessing. Or is that the old monogram kit? I'm not sure. You'd have to do some research on that. What we can do actually is we'll open this one up so that you guys that have got the kit will know. I don't have either. I don't have either the ICM or the old monogram Invader. But the part numbers are G11 and G10, G1 and 2. So there's G11, 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 G12. Okay. So perhaps you can let me know in the comments below. I think, didn't ICM do an Invader? Is this for the ICM kit or is this for the Revell kit, the older Revell monogram? Please let me know in the comments below, because it'd be interesting to let everyone else know as well. We have a double-sided here, 48269, and this is for the Gloucester Meteor F8 Korean War from Airfix in 1/48 scale. You can see again we've got the exterior and the interior showing there. A lot of the time as well you need some masking fluid. He suggests Maskol. You can use any masking fluid. I thoroughly recommend this one. No, that's Metal Prep, Nige. Where is it? Here we go. This one here, liquid mask from VMS, is absolutely brilliant stuff. You get that from Brooks Models. Okay, so that was the double-sided, and this is the one-sided. So we have 48268 is the one-sided, 48269 is a double-sided, and on the back you can see the difference. With this one you're just getting the exterior, with this one you're getting the interior as well. It's well worth having both. Well, not worth, it's worth having both sides. So here we've got the Curtis P40B Warhawk in 1/48 scale from Airfix, and that's a one-sided. Okay. We also have the Gloucester Meteor F8 1/48 from Airfix. That's exactly the same as that one. Okay, so we've got F10, F11, D14, 15, 16 and 17, D10. It's different on the back. Sorry. Okay, so I'll shut up. So yeah, so this is the Korean War version, F8 Korean War, and this is the Gloucester Meteor F8. So make sure if you're getting these masks, make sure you get the right one. Bristol Bulldog 48259. Okay, so you got just a couple of masks in there, and then we have, this is one of his latest creations, 48299. I actually sent him the kit to make these masks, so I've got some. What's the word I'm looking for? Some meat in the game in there, whatever you say. I've got some meat in the game, meat on the bone, I don't know. 48299, Western Lysander from Airfix, and as you can see, there are lots of masks on there. I can see 115, 119. I'm just going to grab my magnifier a second. 190, 120, 128. Then he bids on 128 masks in there, so well worth the money, guys, for your own sanity. So that's our 1/48. So we've got the 135th now. I think these are generally helicopters. So we've got the AH-1W from Academy. This is 35021. Okay, so that's going to be the Viper, I think, isn't it? And then we've got the Velarex. So these are actually for the kit I'm going to show you in a minute. So these are the masks for that. So you've got window masks and wheel and tyre masks for there, and that's for the art scale kit. And then here we've got MH60L Black Hawk from Kitty Hawk 35020. Now this one here I believe is going to be pretty generic across the Black Hawk, because you've got the Sea Hawk, you've got all the different ones. I think this is going to be pretty generic across all of them. This is double-sided, so you can see we've got the inside and the exterior. Let me know if you know different. There may be a couple of masks, like you'll probably do them all, but you know, I would imagine, and don't take the word for it, but I would imagine, you know, if you've got the Sea Hawk or the whatever Hawk, There's loads, about 5 different ones in there. I should imagine at least all the main windscreen window parts will all fit. So there we go. And then moving on to 32nd scale, we've got both one-sided and double-sided for the Kitty Hawk T28BD Trojan. So this is 32113 and 32114. Okay, and you can see on there, basically, you've got that set there, and this has got the interior with it as well. So, and you've got wheel tire masks as well. So that's all our masks taken care of. Okay, so they're all fairly new. They're very, very nice, and they are the best. Decals, okay, so he's given me a boatload of decals here in all sorts of different scales. So here we have Spitfire Mark 1 Early, RAF Aces 1940. So these are decals in 1/32 scale. So I'm guessing these are going to be aimed at your Qatari models, because I don't think anybody else does a Mark 1 Spitfire in 32 scale, do they? So there we go. So that's very, very nice. We've got the black and white undersides here, black and white undersides there, and then here we've got the sky undersides, and the brown and green camouflage, which always looks nice on a Spitfire, rather than the later sort of grey and green. I much prefer the brown and green. And you can see here, the decals are beautifully printed. We'll just get one out and we'll have a look, because I also wanted to see if the note's still in here, which is something pretty good about these decals and worth bearing in mind. Of course, you can also get masks should you want to. These are very tightly fitted into this bag. If I can actually get them out, there we go. So we can see on here we've got the decal sheet, and you can see they're all beautifully printed. They're quite glossy, but they're extremely thin. Okay, I don't know if you can make that out on there, but they are very, very thin, and they're perfectly in register, beautifully printed. And we've got 2 lots of roundels here. They're the same, so we've got 2 lots of main roundels. The rest of them are all individual, so these are obviously going to be different periods. And then we've got 1 lot of stencils here. You've got your bonding, you've got your locations for your steadying, wing walks, all your fuel lines and everything. So that's all there, that's those decals. So we got here is our colour callouts, or our decal placement instructions. So you can see here we've got K9955, March 1940. We've got L1004, May 1940, both with the black and white undersides. And then we've got this one here with the sky, and this is June, July, from RAF Hornchurch 1940. It's got all stories about the actual aircraft here, about the pilots and everything. We've got stencil decals here. We also got stencils for the inside there of the door. And then on the back here, you've got instructions on how to use them. Got a lovely picture there for a wartime picture. And also worth noting, if necessary, the decal cover varnish can be removed, wash off with zipper lighter fluid. Now, I've done videos on this before. All you do is get a cotton bud, dip it in some Zippo lighter fluid, wipe it over, and the film will come off and it gives you that painted on look. But you have to be careful. If you go too mad, you will start to wear away the colour, which can be used to your advantage if you want to give your aircraft markings a bit of a bleached, worn look. But there we go. So that's set number 1. That's D32008. So like the masks are M72, so that tells you it's a mask and 72nd scale, and it's 094. With these, you've got D32, so it's a decal, 32nd scale, 089. And the one we just looked at was 088. This one's 089. So again, we've got a black and white underside, Mark 1 early. So this is from May 39, summer 39, October 38, blimey. And you can see this one's got the old flat canopy, sort of like the twin bladed propeller as well, I think. And you can see on there we've got the very unusual large roundels with the yellow banding, which they soon painted over, didn't they? So there we go. So that's what you're getting in that one. And then here we got 32090. So again, this is the Mark 1 early. So we've got early 39, April 39, spring 39. So these are all the Mark 1 early with the flat canopy. And also this one's got the black and white, and this one's got the, is that silver? I can't remember now. Undersides. But it will tell us in the instructions inside. So here we have Spitfire Mark 1, so we're not early anymore, we're May 1940 or March 1940. So we've got early 40, April 40, March 40. So interesting little bit of a nose art on there, if you like. Tiny little roundels, and here you can see what I was just talking about. You've got the yellow bit which is painted out. So very interesting. I wonder actually how he's done that. Is he giving you a yellow decal and then telling you to paint it out? Is he giving you a mask? I wonder what he's doing. Let's have a look. Out of interest. But these are great decals to actually be a bit different, because what Peter does, he tends to pick on schemes that other people don't use. He doesn't just do the out-of-the-box schemes. God, these are tight in here. Blimey, come on. Right. I don't know how he puts them in there. So here you can see we have, again, we have 2 sheets of decals. So here we go. We've got the thick yellow banding. So what you're going to do there is paint around them. And I said, imagine that's what he's telling us to do. 14, yeah, there's 14. Okay. No, he says nothing about it. Yeah, he says nothing about it, but he's got the colour call-outs here for you in Mr. Hobby, Aqueous, and the lacquer paint range. And then we've got the you can see. So this is interesting. This has got a grey underside and the black and white wings. That's very interesting. I've never seen that before. And then this one here is black and white. Okay, so there we are. Very interesting. But they're again, these decals, as you can see, they're quite glossy, extremely thin, and they go down really, really well. They do go down very nicely. As I said, I've done videos on them, and I've also shown you removing the film with lacquer, with lighter fluid. Okay, so here we have the, I'm editing this in because I'm having to make a change. You can see where my thumb is, so you can imagine what's underneath my thumb. YouTube are being particularly funny about certain things, so I'm making sure I don't show them on this channel. So here we have Messerschmitt BF109K4. This is set number D48057. So this is decals in 1/48 scale for your BF109K4. Again, these decals aren't specifically designed for any particular kit. They'll work with any 48 scale BF109K4, whoever makes it. So don't be too worried about that. And in here we'll have stencils and everything as well. So we've got here this one. This is the top one. Salzburg, Maasglan, Austria Spring, Summer 45. And then we have, I'm not going to try and say that, April 45, it's white 8 with that thing on the tail. And you've got these roughly painted on numbers here. And they are actual decals as painted on numbers. And then here we've got an Italian one. So this has got the German cross painted out, and then we've got the Italian flag there. So that's Gruppo Caccia, Leonati Pajola, March 1945. So I've got to be careful when I turn this over to make sure my thumb goes in the right place. So there we are. We can see BF109K4, the last chance. So these are obviously the latest BF109s. So you can see here what you're supposed to do there is overpaint your German cross and then put the Italian flag on there. So you can see there, and obviously there's a couple of those things underneath my thumb there. So there we are. B26 Marauder, part 1, Miss Arkansas over Europe. B26B, so these are obviously aimed at the new ICM kit, although you could use them on the old Revell monogram kit as well. So we've got July 44, so here we are with the invasion stripes on this one, and we've got this is flying out of Stansted, July 1944, and this one's from Sardinia, August 1944, so it's got the grey undersides, green on the top. B26B 45. They're all very pretty, aren't they? That one's got lovely nose art on the nose there, and you can see we've got the nose art, hard to get, looking lovely. And then we've got this one here, Wine, Women and Song. So we've got wing walkways there, we've got some little stencils and stuff, stars and bars, very nice indeed, beautifully done. And then here we've got B26 Marauder Part 2. So this is Miss Arkansas over Europe. So we've got D48059. So here we've got some shark's teeth on here, we've got some nose art, that's in a natural metal finish, so that'll be fun to do. And then here we've got 394th Bomber Group, 9th Air Force, Cambrai near Genèse, wherever that is, May 1945. So you can see there we've got some lovely nose art on there as well. Coming over the page you can see we've got the shark's mouth, and then we've got Miss Arkansas there looking beautiful with her, she's topless. I hope YouTube don't want to take that down as well. And then we've got the shark's teeth underneath, and then Ishtakaba, not sure what that means, but we've got some stenciling there as well, and then we've got our kill rate there. Stripes for the tail, stars and bars, registration codes, we've got an Indian there. So yeah, very nice indeed. So that's it for the decals and the masks. Now let's have a look at this kit. So this is, I believe, this is Peter's first ever sort of 35th scale kit. The way this came about, if you remember, many moons ago, Edward released a 72nd scale special edition twin box of a Hind helicopter. I've actually got it. It was a limited edition, came with a book and everything, and it also came with a little 72nd scale Velarex. And what Peter's done, he's bought the last sprues they had or whatever, and he made some photo etch and stuff to go with it and distributed those as kits. He said he was going to send me one, he never did. So I never got one of those, but I do have some 3D printed parts for one. So I have the kit in the box, which I'll probably never build, but he did do some 3D printed wheels for it and everything. This is a standalone on its own 35th scale kit. This is K, again the code, K is kit 35001. This is his first one, 35th scale model, and it's actually a little three-wheeler. Not sure of its heritage and everything, and I don't have the time to sit down and have a look, but you can see here we've got 1950 to 1954, that's how it was written, and then from 54 to 73 they changed the design. This model was created in collaboration with the Velarex Club ACR. We extend our thanks to their Velarex Club for their expert support and valuable resources. So we've got an end opening box, okay, very nice. So we can open up the box and you can see what we've got inside. So we have some instructions and everything there. Right, so we have a couple of sprues in there which look lovely. They look very much like ICM, to be honest. Peter won't have had moulded this himself. He would have contracted someone to do it. So so that'll be that. He's obviously done his own decals because he has decal manufacturing capabilities, and we've got some beautiful 3D printed wheels there, so very nice indeed. Okay, so there we go. I'm going to put that up there so you can have a read should you want to freeze frame. So in English, there you go, and then in Czech, there you go. Okay, so freeze frame and you can have a read of that. 15,300 were made, and 1,384 wheeled models were produced, featuring 175 and 350 engines. They were known as the 16175 and the 16350. I've never seen one, but it says today it is valued by collectors and can be found in Europe, Asia, America, and even Australia. So simple little instruction book. So here we have our sprue call out with our clear parts, printed parts, and our sprues. And then here we're going into the manual, so it's telling us how to put the engine together, and then we're going to fit the engine into these crossbars. Then we're going on to the actual floor and adding in the steering column and the pedals, and that's probably the seat mounting there. Then adding the dashboard to the windscreen, and then we're going to start with adding the exhaust to the, is it a twin or is it a single? It doesn't say. I'm not sure if it's a twin or a single. We'll see if look how many spark plugs it's got. It's probably a twin because it's got two exhausts. So that's the rear suspension going in, and we've got the exhaust going in into that part of the frame. And then coming over the page, we're adding the sides and we're sandwiching that frame and everything into the sides along with the floor, bringing the windscreen down on top. And then we're adding the seat and this little rear cargo area, I'm assuming that is. And then we've got the cover going over the top. We have the number plate holder, or that's whatever that is. We've got a number plate back there on the rear mudguard or fender. We have separate doors which can be shown open or closed. The roof is going on and the bonnet is going on there. There's nothing much to see under there, so I can't see any point in leaving that off, although you could if you want to. And then here we've got the front suspension going together, so that's one side. And obviously we're doing the same on the other side, so it's telling us here 30, 31, 38, 39. So that's all the parts for left and right. Headlights are going together, and then we've got our mudguards going on with our front suspension, and then we're going to bring in the front wheels, bringing in the rear wheel there. And then we've got some clear rear lights and everything going on here. So that's a nice touch. Okay, now moving on to our colour callouts. We have the, this is a red-brown one with black fenders and a grey roof. Right, so you can see that one there. And then we have one here. We've got the Mr. Hobby colour callouts. So here we've got the red-brown all over with no black fenders. The fenders look like they're orange on there, but I think they're supposed to be the same colour. And then here we've got the grey roof as well. So here we've got a black roof with a flesh coloured body and red-brown fenders. So that's quite interesting little colour combination on that one. And then another option here we have, this is going to be red-brown SM06 chrome. Okay, so that's the chrome headlights. Yeah, these have black lights, this has chrome. This has the red-brown body and the red-brown fenders. So very interesting, lots of different options. And then here we got a picture of the built by Marek Lusek. So you can see there's the model built up. And it's looking very, very nice indeed. And then there's the image on the back, which is the same as the image on the back of the box. So there we are. So let's have a look at the kit. First of all, we've got these 3D printed wheels. See how these are going to, knowing art scale kit, they're going to be lovely. So you can see we have some really, really fine spoke detail on there. Very nice indeed. And we have some hub detail. So these are going to be the front wheels and that one is the rear wheel. So that's very nice indeed. He has actually done some tests with these wheels and left them standing around in sunlight and everything. And they've been absolutely fine apparently. Because he also does World War I aircraft wheels as well. If you go back on my channel and search ASK, you'll see I've done reviews of the World War I aircraft wheels, which are very nice. So in this little resealable bag here, we have our clear parts and our decals. Not sure there's going to be much to see here because it's just going to be lights, a flat windscreen, and some number plates, I think. So here we go. So there's our windscreen. That could do with a dip in something to get the clarity a bit better. We've got our decals there, so we've got Velarex badges and we've got number plates, and I'll use that to show you the clarity of the screen. And you can see, although it's not the shiniest clear part in the world, it is nice and clear and there's no distortion, so probably very authentic actually. And there's the little rear window, there's your headlights there, there's another rear window I think. There we go, rear lights, brake lights and all that. So that's all on the clear sprue there. And as I say, we got our number plates and our Velarex badges there. Okay, so there we are. Right, and then finally we have our plastic sprues. As I say, this is an art scale kit extravaganza, guys. I have got a lot more stuff on the way. It is on the way and I will be showing it to you soon. And we'll go from there when we get there. But as I say, Peter sent me some stuff and there was some crazy customs confusions. And basically they wanted to charge me £120 customs for a box which was worth 160 quid. But it was free samples, so I don't get it. Anyway, here's the floor. There's the floor there with the, I don't know if that's wood or what it is. Do a bit of research on that. We've got the doors there. I think the body's all canvas. We've got the drive chain here. And then we've got here parts of the front hubs, parts of the chassis there. We've got the exhausts there. A little bit of cleanup, a little bit of flash on them, but you'd expect that. This is going to be a short run kit. Steering wheel, pedals, steering column. Is that rear shock absorbers there? Springs, more of that internal chassis frame. So very nice. This looks very, actually, this looks very special hobby, doesn't it? Looking at the colour of the plastic and the quality of the moulding, you know, the little tiny bit of flash and everything, the sort of short runish look. It looks very special hobby. But it's also nice to see we have no ejector pin marks on the parts. All the ejectors are on the sprue. So if they can do it, and models of it can do it, why can't everyone else? Why does everyone have to have massive great ejector pin marks all over everything? And you can see here, again, we've got these great big sides here, no ejector pin marks. We've got a bonnet, seat, no ejector pin marks. Got that rear cover, nothing there. We do have a couple on the roof, which is understandable because of the shape of it. It's got to be pushed off the tool. But, you know, that's easy to sand out, and they are done proud. So he just clip them, sand them out. Instrument panel there, look, looking very pretty. So, yeah, very, very simple. There's the engine. Lovely. It looks like it might have one spark plug. So I'm not sure if it's a twin or what. It's just got two exhausts. But obviously, if you can do your research, you can find out. So there we are. Very nice indeed. For you know what it is, it's a little short run kit. It doesn't cost the earth. I'm sure it's available on hand, so I must check. But yeah, very nice. I'll have to have a little go at building this, I guess. How did that go in there? Was it like that? It was kind of wedged in there, wasn't it? I'll have to have a look. Anyway, so there we are. So that is the, or has been, the ASK Velarex 200K35001. So go get yourself one. You can see there's the actual vehicle there. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.